cute. I feel like very British. Like I have a little hat on top of my head. I can have tea with my sombrero that I bought for my cat in Mexico. Okay, so I already filmed a video today, like just now, like literally 2 minutes ago, but I'm gonna film another one. So this is Pandemonium. It's going to be a book review. This is the sequel to Delirium, which I also have a Glitterature book review on this channel. And if you watched that one, then you'll know that I was very unsure about whether I even wanted to read this book. I had the book already, but the way Delirium ended, oh my gosh, like I was so heartbroken. I was just, I've got to take this off my head. Like I feel ridiculous. Like I can't even take myself seriously trying to do like a book review with like a cat sombrero on my head. In Delirium, I loved the book, by the way. Like I was so in love with the story until the last like 2 pages, and I just really didn't like the way the story ended. And it just made me really sad, and I cried for like a long time. Like it really got to me. So I was very unsure on whether I wanted to read the sequel, but of course I did, and I really liked it. Oh my gosh, this is a roller coaster of emotion. Like, okay, so there might be spoilers from here on out. I mean, I'll say right now, for those of you that don't want any spoilers, yes, oh my gosh, I absolutely recommend it. Like if you're like me and you read the first one and then you're like, I don't know if I want to read it, it was so sad, read it. It is just as good. Like as far as sequels go, this one is one of the best sequels that I've ever read. Like I read a lot of sequels in the last little bit. The last like 10 days I've read like 4 books, and 3 of them have been sequels, and this was the best one. The reason I didn't want to read this book is because it had been spoiled for me already that she was going to fall in love with another person. With another boy, and so I knew going into it that she was going to fall in love with another boy, and I didn't like that idea. I was like, no, she is too in love with Alex. Like this is not acceptable. Like she can't just fall in love with another boy in the next book. That's too soon. No, like her love with Alex was so strong. She can't do that. So that's why I didn't want to read it. But I read it, and this book is such a roller coaster, and the author is so good that by the end of this book, I didn't know who I wanted her to be with anymore. The love for the 2 relationships is so different. Like with Alex, Alex was her teacher. So Alex taught her what love was, and, you know, not to be afraid of it, and not to like, you know, think that it was a disease, to actually embrace it and like fall in love and let yourself and be okay with it. And with Julian, she's the teacher. So it's a different kind of relationship. Like she's the one that's teaching him how to love, and, you know, kind of taking care of him and rescuing him and all this stuff. So by the end of the book, like I'm so torn by the ending, where obviously this is a spoiler. Like if you read the book, then you'll know, and if not, you might want to turn this video off. But at the end of the book, when Alex comes back, I kind of had a little inkling of an idea that he actually wasn't dead. So when he came back, it didn't completely surprise me. I kind of saw it coming, but I thought I was going to be so mad at Lena for falling in love with someone else. I was going to be like totally team Alex, and by the end of it, I don't even know. Like I like Julian too. I just can't decide. Oh my goodness. Like it's such a roller coaster. Like the author does such a good job making you equally fall in love with both guys. And that's not the norm with love triangles. Like with Twilight, I was team Edward all the way. Not in the movies, because Jacob is so much cuter in the movies. But in the book series, like totally team Edward. Like did not understand why she would pick Jacob. This book, like, oh, I love Alex and Julian. Like I just don't even know. So the 3rd book, which isn't out yet, but I cannot wait. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna buy it the day it comes out. Yeah. I'm so excited about it. Like this was such a good book. I will say that the actual layout of the story is a little bit rougher than the first one. Like because she's in the wilds, and she's kind of having to fend for, not for herself because she's in a camp, but you know, like it's a rougher lifestyle. So I think certain things about this was harder to read because the visual pictures that I was kind of getting was a little bit more of like a sad life, especially at the beginning when she's being like reborn, when she's like, you know, grieving over Alex and stuff. I mean, I just felt like I was this girl. I felt like I was Lena, and I was grieving, and I was like so sad for her. Like my heart ached for her. And then when she meets Julian, I knew right away. I was like, he's the one. Like she's gonna fall for him. I knew when she walked into the auditorium and he was looking at pictures, I was like, he's the one, like he's gonna fall in love with her. The one thing that I really got angry at Lena about is that I didn't understand why she went to rescue Julian and she never tried to rescue Alex. Because obviously if she had tried to rescue Alex, she would have learned that he was still alive. She didn't even like try. She didn't even want to make sure that he was like dead before giving up on him. And that just frustrated me, because with Julian, and I know like with Julian it's because she's like, I don't want to make the same mistake twice. I don't want to lose him. So she goes and tries to save him and, you know, succeeds. But it just makes me mad. Like, I was like, why didn't she try harder with Alex? Like, just to make sure, you know? Especially after like finding out that her mom was alive after all those years, and then, you know, knowing that they do keep people in the crypts. Like, I don't know why she didn't just check. The end of the book, even though I was expecting Alex to come back, I was a little bit surprised with the way he comes back. Like, the way this is actually the very last page. This author is keen on making the last page like the like major twist. But in the very last page, she's making a promise to Julian, and Alex steps out and says, "Don't believe her." And he's like mean, and like it says his eyes have hardened, and only his hair is the same, and all this stuff. And like, he's so angry with her. And I understand it in a way, because he feels like, you know, he came back for her, he escaped and he came to find her, and she's like moved on with some other guy. Like, I don't blame him. I would be mad too. But it does surprise me that he's so angry with her. Like, that he doesn't like try to hear her side of the story first. Which I guess like that doesn't even make sense that I'm like arguing that case right now, because I agree with it. Like, I would be mad too if I was him, like right from the beginning. So I don't know what she's gonna do, and I don't know, like, I think because Alex was like her first, I want her to be with Alex a little bit more, but Julian is just so like helpless, and like he needs her, and she's like his like mother figure on top of like protector and teacher and lover and all this stuff, like, which kind of sounds a little weird to be your mother figure and your lover. But the thing that I really got out of this book was the love story. So Lena, you know, grieving over losing Alex and then falling in love again and all of this stuff. Obviously there was other things going on in the story, like with the DFA and you know, them being held hostage and being in prison and running away through the sewers, which was really kind of scary, and like there was a lot of like explaining what the wilds was really like and how harsh it actually is in, you know, reality, as opposed to the way Alex had kind of showed her the wilds was, which she thought it was a lot more, you know, he had like a little house with like books and stuff, so she thought it was going to be a little bit more, you know, normal society, and it's not. But really the love story was the only thing that stands out to me really about this story, was Julian versus Alex versus her, even though she was still in love with Alex. And she had a lot of conflicted emotions about it, and I think that is why you fall in love with Julian along with her, because she doesn't just jump into it as like a rebound. It's like, oh, the love of my life died, so now I'm gonna fall in love again. Like, you really fall in love with Julian's character as Lena does, and I think the author does a really good job kind of letting the reader fall in love with the boys as Lena does. I highly recommend the series. So if you haven't read the first one, I recommend reading it, and if you haven't read this one, definitely read it, give it a chance, even if the first one threw you off the way it did me. So that's it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.